Has been lost.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Wednesday, October 26th. We've got lots of great updates for you. Just as a reminder, this downtown stakeholders meeting is brought to you by the Downtown Collaborative Committee, where you will hear updates from myself at Noblesville Main Street, Brannett Bennett from Noblesville Parks and Rec, Bob Dubois from the Noblesville Chamber of Commerce, Aaron Head from the City of Noblesville, and Ayla Miguel from Nickel Plate Arts. These updates are designed to be about 20 to 30 minutes in length and dedicate the last part of the hour for any questions you may have. And we are always open to take any questions live, and of course, any follow-up questions that you may have. I know the five of us are always available via email, phone call, or even text. So kicking off, I'm going to go rudely first, for Noblesville Main Street. As we start to wrap up our 2022 year, we have 2 First Fridays remaining, and you're going to hear some updates from the rest of my colleagues here as we go on through these updates. But Friday, November 4th from 5 to 9, we will host our holiday open house. This is where we're encouraging everyone to come down and get cracking on their holiday shopping. We're going to try to build out some fun, family-friendly activities in the alleys, just to kind of thicken that up a little bit and get people downtown and into the shops. For First Friday in December, this is going to be a big thing. And I know Ailey's got updates for this. Brandon's got updates for this. We've got Deck the Downtown. That is the Noblesville Main Street portion of this. We also have Midnight Madness. So from 5 p.m. really until midnight, you can shop in downtown Noblesville. We already have more than 12 retail shops that are prepared to be open until midnight. So it's just kind of a really fun, come downtown, have dinner, go shopping. It's going to be great. Other events happening. Like I said, we're going to hear lots of updates on that. So I'll let others speak to that. But Lights Over Seminary is going on, Holidays at the Hill is going on, and we're going to have a trolley that's connecting downtown visitors to all of those locations from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. Tomorrow is the last Main Street Mixer. We have had so much fun gathering with the community on these last Thursdays at Primeval Brewing. Our last one this year is going to be sponsored by the Rainmakers, which is a great business to business organization led by Nancy Sunshine. So we hope you come and meet her, hear about her business, mingle with our Noblesville Main Street Board of Directors, hear the things that we've got planned coming up for 2023. And of course, just raise a glass to Noblesville, the community we all love. We have coming up from Main Street a holiday dinner that is a benefit dinner for us. It's our end of the year fundraiser. This is going to be on Thursday, December 8th at the Lacey Arts Building. Invitations are coming soon. You'll see that on social media and perhaps in your email inbox. So be on the lookout. Also, just a little teaser for the holidays, Noblesville Main Street is getting an online store. So if you love our t-shirts, you love our merchandise, now it is accessible to you online. So be on the lookout for that as well. Those are the updates that I have for Noblesville Main Street, and welcome any questions at the end. Bob Dubois.
Thank you, Kate. We have a very short list here because we're kind of coming off a pretty busy period. Today we have our Noblesville State of the Schools with our new superintendent, Dr. Heil. So we're excited to hear what Dr. Heil has to say today. If you're not coming to the lunch, you certainly can watch it on Hamilton County Television, and I would encourage you to do so. You can stream that either live during the event or afterwards. And along those same lines is on Monday night, we had our candidates forum for the school board candidates. And we would encourage you to watch that as well before you cast your ballot to make an informed choice for our school board, because that is so critical to our schools. And as far as other things coming up, we have our Advancing Noblesville Awards on November 17th at Harbor Trees, an evening dinner event. And it's a chance for us just to add to the mix of the celebration of all the folks that are doing wonderful things in our community. And so we had over 50 nominations. We've culled it down to about 18 finalists, and we're looking forward to celebrating them. And we think this is the beginning of an ongoing way to celebrate. It joins with kind of what Nickel Plate Arts does for the creative economy community. And we should celebrate those folks that are doing wonderful things. That is a dinner event, and you are more than welcome to join us for that event, to join in the celebration. It also acts as a fundraising event for the Advancing Noblesville Chamber Foundation, or works in 4 different areas: health and well-being, which includes mental health, our DEI work, our workforce development work, and our scholarships. Lighting of the square is a great way for us to cap a small business Saturday, and we moved it to Saturday. I'm thrilled that we since we met last month, we've had a few changes. The county has allowed us to return into the Judicial Center for our entertainment portion. So we're past the COVID period where we had to stay out. So that allows us to expand our entertainment. It's a more comfortable setting. We can involve a lot more families and children at this event. So we would welcome you to join us. Doors open at 6 on that Saturday. After you do all of your shopping in the downtown area and elsewhere, join us inside for entertainment, and then we go outside and we will light the square, which is when we light up the county courthouse, the county Christmas tree that we have, the holiday tree. And we're always thrilled because Kate Baker is always a big help for that event. So we're thrilled about it. So that's kind of what we got. Like everyone else, we would encourage you to tell us what any special plans you have for the holidays, so that we can help support you and share the good news and share your marketing along the way to encourage folks to shop local. So thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Bob. Next up, Ailey McGill.
Good morning, everybody. So we have a big celebration coming up next week. It is Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, which is it's a huge Mexican holiday, and one that you're starting to see celebrated more often in other parts of the world as well, including here. We treat it when it falls on a weekday, like it does this year. We treat it as like an after-school program. So we will have I think 4, maybe 5 different artist stations where you can come in and do crafts and learn about the holiday. Noblesville Diversity Coalition is going to be there with us running an activity. And each of the artists are Mexican or have a Mexican heritage. And so you can really learn a lot about this very cool and very important holiday that's not just an extension of Halloween, but certainly allows us to extend the spooky season just a little bit farther. We are also going to be celebrating First Friday next week as well, and that will include the opening of our Gold Standard exhibit, which is our annual prize show, where we not only have a judge come in and award artists for their best work of the year, but there's an audience voting portion as well. So you can check out that we'll have a Facebook album, and we would love to get lots and lots of votes on that so that just the right person wins the People's Choice Awards. Voting for that will last all month, although the exhibit itself will only be up for 2 weeks, so that we have a little extra time to set up for our giant holiday exhibit that we call Gifted. It's a show that is full of items that make great gifts and that show off the gifted talents of our local artists. So we'll have lots of different things in that, some holiday themed stuff, some just great handmade crafts from artists from all over Central Indiana, all sorts of different price points. That will kick off. That exhibit opens the day after Thanksgiving, and we'll have special deals on Small Business Saturday itself. And there's still time to sign up for that. So if you know an artisan or somebody who is hand making something that would make a great gift for the holidays, please have them contact us ASAP so that we can get them included in that show. We only keep 20% of the price of anything we sell. The remaining 80% goes back to the artist. So it's really a great opportunity to grow our creative economy while also celebrating the holidays. Another feature of sort of the holiday season for us is we are putting together our next membership guide, which is usually a 28-page full color magazine. We still have some room for some advertisers, but we'd have to get them locked in this week. So if you would like to be included in that guide, which we print 500 copies and direct mail it to our membership and our sponsors and our partners. And then we also send the electronic version out to over 4,000 people who subscribe to our emailing list. So it is a great way to get your name out there and to show your support for the local creative economy. We're also going to have some really great stories in there, including some follow-up on the story that recently came out in the news about our partnership with the Lacey Arts Building. So stay tuned for that. At least put some time in your schedule to pick up a copy and read it, because it's going to have really neat stuff in it. We're wrapping that up in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, and it should be in mailboxes just before Thanksgiving. For Small Business Saturday, we are working hard along with Main Street and the Chamber and Parks and the city to support Small Business Saturday plans. So we will be chalking sidewalks again, putting out the shop small signs, which last year lasted like all winter. So, but we'll have those specifically ready for the Saturday of Small Business Saturday. We know that there will be specials and events that kind of kick off on Friday and go all weekend. But we'll get those sidewalk decorations out on Saturday morning. We are also working on an ad for the Current that is going to cover all of sort of downtown, the whole concept of coming to shop in downtown Noblesville and explore the cultural district. And we are coordinating things at Noblemade, at Nickel Plate, and even with Hamilton County Artists Association to make sure that we've got really strong arts engagement throughout. We're exploring options for music in downtown once again throughout the day, so that you can hear live music as you wander around and shop as well. For the December 1st Friday, we will also have an open house as part of Deck the Downtown. That's a great time to come and explore our gifted exhibit. We may also do a raffle where you can win some really neat artsy prizes. So stay tuned for that. It's also my understanding that maybe it's actually for the November 1st Friday, Hamilton County Artists Association is working on putting together a silent auction of art. And I do think it's for this upcoming November 1st Friday. So please make sure that as you're visiting the downtown, the Birdie Gallery is something that is on your radar. It's at 5th and Cherry, right over by the Riverside Graveyard, which, you know, for November is very appropriate, right, to wander around in a spooky setting. But their building is beautiful. It's always chock full of fabulous art, and it's really only 2 blocks off the square. It's not a long walk at all. So please make sure you put them in your plans for the weekend. And just since we've mentioned the Lacey Building, I want to go back to that. I know the Indy Star article that came out, the title of that article made it seem like we would be moving into the Lacey Building, but I want to clarify that it's really going to be just an expansion of our footprint. So one of the challenges for the arts community is we don't have enough art space. And so Chris and Katie Nurnberger are providing us with this great opportunity to expand the amount of space available to artists and for art projects in town. So our intention right now definitely is to maintain our campus at 8th and Maple, and then add additional features at the Lacey Building. I know I've been getting update photos of how much work is going on the interior of the building, and it is just spectacular. So we hope to be able to provide regular updates on how that's coming together. If you know of an artist who wants studio space, please help us spread the word that we'd like them to sign up for our waiting list now so that they're at the front of the line when the studio spaces come online. We already have several names of folks who are waiting for studios. So we want to make sure that we kind of go in order and get and serve those folks who have been waiting for a little while. So get on board now. And as David just noted in the chat, he has a great history of the building that he's been sharing. Little tidbits are coming out like in the Hamilton County Business Magazine. So we can always pair past, present, and future when it comes to that project, which I think is especially cool. I know we have lots more we could talk about, but I think those are the main arts highlights for now, as long as Aaron Head talks about the cool public art projects that are coming up or that have already been installed recently in downtown.
Great updates, Ailey. Thank you so much. All right, Brandon Bennett, you're up. Maybe.
Are you there? Can you hear
There
me?
you are. Yes.
Did you have that?
That?
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, really, obviously everything we're kind of focused on right now, especially from the downtown and west side of the river perspective, is Holidays at the Hill and Lights Over Seminary, and then the Home for the Holidays tour. And Aaron, I don't know if you're going to talk about that or not, but certainly Holidays at the Hill is the ice skating rink. We start building that this week. The walking light tour at Federal Hill, we will have a few new light displays down there this year. Carriage rides will be running and will be advertised here in the next week or two. And then the holiday market, which Main Street is managing this year. Kate can fill us in on any of those details, and obviously then the opportunity for letters to Santa down there as well. So that's November 19th through January 9th, when essentially Holidays at the Hill will be running. And then obviously Small Business Saturday and the tree lighting ceremony is also included in here, which you've heard about. Lights Over Seminary, Aaron and I are working on, but Aaron is kind of taking the lead on that, and his vision of lighting up a 54-foot tree, I think we're going to try and make happen at the backside of the park this year. And if not the tallest, one of the top 2 or 3 tallest natural lit trees in the state. And then the Home for the Holidays tour, which is the parades that the city does throughout the neighborhoods with Santa, but then there is also now a traditional parade route on Saturday, December 3rd, which will be a pared down version, but it will still be the traditional parade route through downtown. So, you know, there's a lot going on, and the next 3 weeks are going to be extremely busy just setting up and getting prepared for all of this. But after that, then it's time to celebrate. So if there's anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. But otherwise, this information as well as the key to the city will be going out here shortly.
Thanks, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will let you know the holiday market is going to be on Saturday, December 3rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you'll see that online as well.
At Federal Hill, just
at
like
Federal Hill.
maybe
That's
not
right.
just like a farmer's market, but outdoors. Yes.
That's right. That's right. All right. Last but not least, Aaron Head.
How's it going? So Brandon stole my thunder on my first item, but that's all right. It's always good to hear the information twice. But, one reason why that's important is that, there will be some street and parking space closures during that time because we are doing the traditional parade route. So, one thing as you're thinking towards the holidays is that we will have a little bit of delay in some parking and whatnot along the street. However, the good thing is we do have 2 awesome parking garages that bookend the downtown on the north and south side. So there's really not an issue in terms of available parking, but just to keep in your minds that there will be some limitations during that time. So those closures, typically they'll start asking for vehicles to be out of the street probably around 10 or 11 so that the 2 p.m. start time for the parade can start. And then the parade should last, I would say, be over by 3 p.m. We can start pulling barricades out, or excuse me, letting vehicles pull back in and start having normal traffic again downtown. So, but as a merchant, I would, kind of start thinking about how can you capitalize on the fact that, there's going to be sort of an additional mass of people around downtown, and how do you kind of, how are you able to speak to them, pull them into your shops since they are going to be downtown? So that was the first thing. The second thing, we have tentatively scheduled the groundbreaking for the Reimagined Pleasant Street project. So it's our project. I'm sure if you haven't heard, I don't know where you've been, but there's a large extension of Pleasant Street that will run from current Pleasant Street across White River and extend all the way out to Hague Road, where it connects to State Road 32. So pretty exciting project in terms of mobility in our community. As we grow, we have to make certain improvements to our road infrastructure. And this is another east-west corridor throughout the community. So that will be November 14th at 4 p.m. The public is all invited. We want you to come and kind of be a part of that event. So feel free to come out. We'll have some additional details on location, additional times, things that we're going to be doing during that groundbreaking coming up in the next few weeks. And Ailey mentioned that I need to talk about the new art installations that we have, which I'm so glad you mentioned that. I talk about alley activation like every single week, and you get tired of hearing about it. And then the one week I don't put it on there is after we've installed things. So if you've noticed our East Alley, we've now, Rachel Kavathi with Noblesville Creation, she has installed, and her team, really cool shade structure that mimics the wing of a butterfly. So it works really well paired with the flower mural that's in that alley. And we've had one event there already. It was a flower market a few weeks back. And you could really get a sense that this is a really cool space now that you have sort of a structure above, a flower mural on the side, and it just creates this awesome gathering space. And so we're not done just yet over there. So we just got the concrete footers in this past Friday. So nobody overnight scratched their names in the concrete. So I checked Saturday morning and had my fingers crossed. So we're all good there. But as that concrete cures, it's going to take a few weeks. And so once that's done, then we have an artist that's creating the gates that will be installed in that alley. Those gates will remain open during business hours. So, if you have deliveries and whatnot, you have traffic that comes east-west in that East Alley, that will still be available. It's just for event times. If you as a business want to host an event there, you can pull those gates. So it creates a really cool entry feature into that East Alley. In the South Alley, we have a really cool metal sculpture that you may have seen there that has a flower planter at the bottom. It's what we call a water mitigation sculpture in the arts world, and really cool feature. Same company, same artist designed that. And if you're out there when it rains, you really get a good look at what it is. But basically, it's an art piece, but it also is very functional for us because it slows down the amount of water that's getting into the alley. And with our alleys, they're very flat and there's not really good drainage. So this is a way to slow down the amount of water that gets in the alley and actually push it to the back of the alley versus into the middle. So very functional, but it's a very cool piece of art. And so when you leave the Levinson garage, it's kind of one of the first things that you see is we have this new piece of art that has been installed. So we had those two items. 3 with the gates, and then also something just outside of downtown, but really in downtown is a awesome mural called Dino Dance Party that was completed about a week and a half ago in Forest Park. It is on the back of one of our bathroom facilities and it faces a trail. So it's over there. Brandon, if he looks out right out of his window, he'll be able to see it from right where he's sitting. But an artist, Travis Neal, designed that and installed that mural. Really cool addition to the park over there and really fun for the kids. I know my son, huge dinosaur guy. So I imagine as soon as I take him out there, he's going to be wanting to stand in front of it and take lots of fun photos. So we continue to add additional art into our community. We have some other ideas coming up we can't tell you about just yet, but some more art installations around our downtown to continue to, raise up our cultural arts district that the city and Ailey over at Nickel Plate and Kate at Main Street and Bob, Brandon, we all work so hard to make sure that our downtown, our cultural arts district is continues to be one of the best in the state. So those are I do have one more thing as far as street closures and the unfun stuff. It shouldn't be that impactful, but this year, the Michael Trinan Turkey Trot will be back this year. It's been off for a few years just when COVID started. That is Thanksgiving morning. So we've never really seen any impacts from that, but Logan Street between 8th and 9th and 9th Street between Connor and Logan will be closed early that morning, and it will be reopened early that afternoon. So there shouldn't be too much of an impact for that because it's Thanksgiving morning, but just so you are aware that that will be happening. And Ayla, you look like you had something to add, and I'm so sorry I cut you off.
No, that's okay. I just wanted, I don't think you mentioned the crosswalks at 9th and Maple and 8th and Maple. And so that's yet another art installation in downtown. And I mainly want to give a shout out to Deanna Leonard of Caravan Classes, who came up with the designs for those. Putting maple leaves on Maple Street, I think is very clever. And then over by Nickel Plate, we have a really cool river inspired pattern. And of course, the Rich Wine Building, we're paying homage to that at on the other two crosswalks at 9th and Maple. So both the crosswalks and the water mitigation sculpture were sort of proof of concept projects where we really wanted to see how with the crosswalks, how this material works in downtown. It is made of asphalt that is stamped to the road itself. It is absolutely a part of the road. So it should last a lot longer than the hand painted ones that we've done in the past. But I'm certainly going to continue to advocate for having more of those show up in our downtown district because they're super cool. And same thing with the water mitigation sculpture. As we see how it works on these rainy days, I know that there are other places in downtown that could use some help with keeping that flood of water from coming into a street or on a sidewalk and or in the alley. And so hopefully those are both things that we'll see continue on. While I have the floor, I also want to point out, I do this every time that I forget something really big. And I forgot this because I don't know, I hate promoting myself, but my husband and I are putting on an exhibit at Nickel Plate for the month of November. My husband is Stuart Sager, who's a comic book artist. I also am an illustrator. And so we'll be putting our artwork together in the Stevenson House for the month of November. And we invite everybody to come celebrate with us the evening of Wednesday, November 23rd, which is often sort of a friend hangout night as you prepare to hang out with your families for Thanksgiving the next day. Come hang out with us at the Stevenson House or come shop with us on Small Business Saturday. We'll be giving away free stuff with purchase. If you make a purchase, you get an extra prize. So I'll stop talking.
I guess I will add to the water mitigation sculpture in the shade structure in the East Alley, as well as another implementation that we're going to be doing the South Alley with some lighting, are all paid through a grant program that we were able to get a hold of. So all those things are being paid for from the National Endowment for the Arts.
Beautiful. Well, we just have only a few things going on here in Noblesville. So great updates today. This is where we turn it over. Does anyone on the call have any questions? If not, of course, as I said in the beginning, Brandon, Bob, Ailey, Aaron, and I are always open to receiving any questions really at any time. You can always reach out to us via email, phone, text, anything that works for you. We're really here for you and want to make sure you know everything that's going on in the downtown area and beyond. So with that, I hope everyone stays dry today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, have a good one.